Very, very bad behavior. That's how Donald Trump described North Korea's intercontinental ballistic missile test on Tuesday. During his visit to Poland, Mr. Trump lashed out at Pyongyang. He warned he had pretty severe things planned as potential responses. In recent weeks, Trump has stepped up his criticism of China, asking Beijing to do more. But how likely is it that the US tough talk will get Beijing on side? And what's the alternative? Well, let's speak to Professor Amitai Etzioni from the George Washington University. He's the author of Avoiding War with China. Thank you so much, Professor, for joining us here on the program. We hear a lot of tough talk in these last few months from Donald Trump through tweets and at press conferences. But is that the way to deal with North Korea and China?
We're asking a lot from China. North Korea is China's only ally. If they really put pressure on them and the regime collapses, China is worried about millions of starving North Koreans flooding China. So that is a big ask. And I believe if to get China aboard, we need to match the big ask with a big give. So far, all that President Trump did is ask them do that because I'm asking, be a good citizen. So in my book, Avoiding War with China, I developed a very different bargaining theory, which I'll show you in a moment. It applies very much to the situation with North Korea. The essence of that approach, it's not built on finding shared interests, but on the contrary, of finding difference in interests. We need to ask China to give us things they don't really mind giving up, but we care a lot about, and give them things they very much want, and we don't mind giving up. That's what based on, here the way it goes. We badly need China's help in getting North Korea to give up its nuclear program. They don't care about that. North Korea doesn't, nuclear weapons do not threaten China. But what does China want from us? Well, we put anti-missile defenses in South Korea. They're greatly troubling China, for good reason. The whole idea of nuclear deterrence is based on the idea, if you hit me, I can hit you back. These anti-missile defenses could prevent China from hitting us back. They're very worried about them. We will not need them in South Korea once North Korea gives up its nuclear weapons. So the first thing we can put on...
Are there concrete steps being taken at the moment, or is it just Twitter diplomacy at the, what we're seeing at the moment?
Well, unfortunately, this administration in the United States is not giving to careful strategic considerations. It's giving to threats and speeches and tweets, but there is no worked-out strategy. Attacking North Korea head-on, all my colleagues, all the experts agree, is a very, very risky proposition. So at least we should first try to work out a bargain with China by giving, not just asking. And if it doesn't work, we may always have to fall back to a military option. But at least we should first exhaust a major deal with China.
The US, you've said, needs national debate about China. What do you mean?
Well, we, like most countries, have on continuous discussions on things which matter to us. At the moment, we have a big debate about health care. A few weeks ago, we had a big debate about if transgender people can use which bathroom. So we have these dialogues out of which the public forms some shared opinion. The reason I wrote my book is we did not have a discussion about China at all. There's no public dialogue. Is there a reason we should treat China like an enemy? Or are there really lots of things like protecting the environment, economic interest? There are a lot of things in which China and us have reason to work together.
Relate further with North Korea because they are calling the United States bluff almost every other week.
That's very well put. That is very well put. And so we should not talk loud and carry a small stick. We should talk softly and carry a big stick.
Professor Etzioni, it's been fascinating talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.